Take your life back. Take your life back. Take your life back.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Take Your Life Back with Ralf Friedrichs. Today we are going to talk about not Halloween anymore because those 3 editions for this week are over. However, this is somewhat scary in itself. These are the 15 scary facts about Adderall abuse. That is a drug, so we are going to address that. It is a scary fact, and it still fits in with the realm of Halloween for this week. But first, as always, I want to say hello to Dr. Luis Gonzalez. He is at Starting Point at startingpointmn.com. That's www.startingpointmn.com. He has two entities in his business. The first one is like mine. It's to help you walk from your addiction to your recovery 24 hours at a time, step by step. Like myself, he will never ever talk about your past. We are not therapists. We are not counselors. What we are is are addiction recovery coaches. The second thing that we are going to give him a shout out for is the fact that he can help you, yes you, turn into an addiction recovery coach. If you have professional personality and passion, and you have some sort of addiction background, whether it's your own or someone in your family, he can help you become an addiction recovery coach. It all starts with you calling 1-844-414-8444 or going to www.startingpointmn.com. The MN stands for Minnesota. Now I want to give a shout out to another special person in my life, and that's me. I have two websites. The first one is www.clearviews.info. Now clearviews.info is basically all about information on drug and alcohol abuse and recovery. You can find that at www.clearviews.info. My other side of my business is, like Dr. Luis Gonzalez, I will help you with your addiction from the first state of addiction all the way to recovery. I will walk hand in hand with you 24 hours at a time. Like Dr. Luis Gonzalez, I will never talk about your past. We are, again, not counselors, not therapists, but what we are is addiction recovery coaches. We will get the answers that you already know from your insight and bring them to the surface. That is what I do. You can reach me at 844-405-HELP. 844-405-HELP. You can text me anytime at 631-599-0218. That's Clear Review and clearviews.info. Excuse me, Clear Reform and clearviews.info. Those are the two websites. If you notice, both start with the word clear. And the reason I came up with that name was when I first hit rock bottom and I started in my journey, my long journey in sobriety, I started feeling clear in my chest, clear in my head. Things around me became clear. So I said, what can I come up with that will match the letters in the word clear? Community, lessons, empower, addiction, recovery. It is your lessons, my lessons, your neighbor's lessons, different world, different places in the world's lessons. It's our global community. Our lessons will empower addiction recovery. If we all just pitch in and give each other the information that we have learned through our recovery or our addiction, because all of us have faced addiction some sort of way or another, whether it's your own addiction or someone close to you, a loved one, a family member, even a neighbor. You have seen addiction somewhere down the line, and you know what it's like, and you have a story, and your story counts. Let's go right into the 15 scary facts about Adderall abuse. Along with tuition, students swallowing or snorting Adderall, Ritalin, or any other drugs available by prescription, or more likely available via connections with prescriptions, stands as one of the most volatile issues impacting the education system today, particularly at college level, seeing as how society tends to push achievements as to be all of existence. It's easy to see why so many turn toward abusing these drugs when desperation to perform grows way too overwhelming, because the expectations of our parents, of your mother, your father, whoever you might have to report to, are putting so much pressure on you that you or someone you might know turns to either Adderall, Ritalin, or any other type of drug, prescription or non. College students are twice as likely to abuse Adderall, and from there, full-timers between ages 18 to 22 were demographic most at risk for taking the stimulant without prescription, at twice the rate of part-timers and older students. Let me turn that music down a little. 15% of college students have illegally ingested Adderall, Ritalin, or any other stimulant in the past year. These numbers, which fluctuate based on individual campuses, reflect a study conducted by the National Survey on Drug Use and Health. Only 2% of these hold prescriptions. 14% state that their peers have made some offer of money for them to sell some of their prescription drugs to them. So indirectly, what these students are becoming is like drug dealers. Excuse me. Adderall is habit forming. Seeing as how it's stimulant and all, it is entirely possible for to form an addiction to Adderall and similar prescription drugs, especially when one starts consuming the pills without a doctor to take weight, possible interactions, and other factors of responsible medication into consideration. The risk of both addiction and dangerous potential deadly overdoses increase. Overdoses could lead to heart failure. Even kids using Adderall responsibly and beneath the care of a doctor have still lost lives to stimulant. While no definitive statistics about deaths stemming from the overdose seem to exist just yet, science does know that most severe overdoses result in heart attacks, deadly blood clots, and other circulatory issues, especially when engaging in behaviors exerting too much stress in the heart, just like every other drug of its kind and that might be out there. Overdoses can alter brain chemistry permanently. Overdose survivors still might not necessarily make it out of the incident unscathed. Given Adderall's chemical nature, the drug can completely change a user's personality with prolonged use. And even if it doesn't directly kill him or her, such a switch can lead to suicidal thoughts and actions. Neither scenario is exactly worth earning a few extra grade points, is it? Just because somebody had told you you should get extra points does not mean, or you should have a higher grade, does not mean you need to turn to drugs to do that. Because turning to drugs, what you're inviting is trouble down the road. You're inviting possibly an addiction. Adderall abuse is most common during midterm and final weeks because that is when the pressure is on you. It is when the pressure comes that you need to reach those midterm grades to continue the education on the course, or at the finals when you need to possibly graduate. Understandable, since college kids feel extra pressure to perform despite balancing numerous responsibilities, and with midterms and finals holding so much clout, the tensions do nothing but mount. Tensions means stress, stress means God knows what. On the national level, between 30% and 40% of undergrads reported using Adderall and similar stimulants during the strenuous times. 30 to 40%, folks. Some students take it just for recreational purposes. Most reported incidents of Adderall abuse occur when desperate students without prescriptions need to focus on exam or assignments, but few do enjoy it for recreational purposes. For one thing, an incredible easy to find amphetamine, with doctors prescribing for ADD and ADHD and other common learning disabilities. And since it's available via the medical field, crushing it up and snorting doesn't exactly carry the same stigma as cocaine or speed, even if the side effects remain largely the same. Adderall is considered a Schedule II controlled substance, meaning anyone caught with pills not prescribed by a doctor is subjected to the same criminal charge as those possessing opiates, methamphetamines, and any other drugs. Drugs in this class involve extremely high-risk addiction and overdose, and exact penalties vary from state to state. Suffice to say, though, intent to sell carries a much higher penalty than buying and could mean a potentially career-destroying felony. I'm sorry that I have to look up, but that's exactly where the reading material is. Some students fake ADD and ADHD symptoms to acquire prescriptions, so they'll go through any extremes to do this. Around 95% of those reporting abuse, in fact, such aggravating means receiving prescriptions for dosages much bigger than the brain chemistries can actually handle, and messing with dopamine levels, as mentioned before, does not exactly bode well for long-term mental health in the event students start hitting the pill or the bottle harder than they otherwise would have become before being addicted. Meanwhile, individuals who genuinely need the pills to function, studies have shown that psychological route to ADD and ADHD wind up facing stigma and marginalization as a result of everyone co-opting and trying to purchase their way for these pills, and the people that really have issues and really struggle for getting these pills can't, because the easy fix for other people is kind of putting a cloud and making it harder for people really with ADD and ADHD to get it. Most college-age Adderall abusers hold a GPA of 3.0 or below. So do you see, you're trying to increase your midterms and your finals, and what you're doing indirectly is hurting your grades. Although, of course, that doesn't mean that those GPAs is much higher range are immune to giving it or go either. Let me read that again. Although, of course, that doesn't mean those with GPAs in the much higher range are immune to giving it a go either. What makes Adderall, Ritalin, and other drugs so appealing on the campus is how they concentrate focus and render is far easier to cram in all week required of them in society promoting success of all cost. It makes sense that comparatively underperforming students would turn to them in order to gain an edge over temporal, academic, and resourceful setbacks. In 2006, an estimated 7 million Americans admitted to abusing prescription stimulants. These aren't just stereotypical high school students. Either chances are exact number of increase since 2006 thanks to greater access and heightened awareness of Adderall benefits. This is based on 2006, folks. God knows, I mean, it's gotten a lot worse since then. Right now, in 2006, it was 7 million. Adderall abusers are more likely to become binge drinkers. Thank God I never turned to drugs. I was always an alcoholic. According to the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, 90% of college students who ingested Adderall without prescription also binge drank or qualified as heavy drinkers over those who did not. These statistics apply to both of age and underage respondents. Colleges have had an oversight of Adderall abuse as against school policy. The oversight really doesn't do much good if there's nobody to enforce it. Every college out there, or at least the staggering majority, sports an illicit substance policy in its handbook. But in order to combat the recent spat of Adderall abuse, schools such as Duke, Wesleyan, and Dartmouth have all had to amend theirs to include prescription drug abuse. 40% of teens think it's okay to abuse prescription drugs because they are much safer than the street equivalent. No, they're not. Drugs are drugs, no matter if they're legal or not, they're drugs. This is despite the fact that Adderall, which used outside of a careful, controlled environment, is basically the exact same thing as street equivalent. Furthermore, 29% believe that because of its prescription status, addiction is impossible, and 39% think that because of this, it's acceptable to abuse without using a doctor as a intermediary. Folks, these are alarming statistics. 15 scary facts. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. 15 scary facts. Fact number 1. College students are twice as likely to abuse Adderall or Ritalin or any other substance. 2. 15% of college students have illegally ingested Adderall, Ritalin, or any other drug. Number 3. Adderall is habit-forming. Number 4. Overdoses could lead to heart failure. Number 5. Overdoses can also alter brain chemistry permanently, irreversibly. Number 6. Adderall abuse is most common during midterm and finals because of the pressure. And you'll find that the grades don't become higher because of it. Number 6, some students take it recreationally. Number 7, Adderall is considered a Schedule II controlled substance. Number 8, dealers can get between $7 to $10 per pill. That's a lot of money. Imagine having a month load and you're getting $300 a bottle. Number 9, some students fake ADD and ADHD symptoms to acquire prescriptions. Number 10, most College-age Adderall abusers hold a GPA of 3.0 or lower. Number 11, in 2006, mind you, 2006, an estimated 7 million Americans admitted abusing prescription stimulants. Number 12, Adderall abusers are more likely to be binge drinkers. Number 13, number 14, I should say, colleges have had an oversight of their policies to enforce substance abuse, but had to amend their handbook to include prescription drugs. Last, 40% of teens think it's okay to abuse prescription drugs because they feel it is safer than the ones sold on the street. Not true. Folks, this also starts, like we always talk about, in your home, but let's go right into your bathroom. Your home has many rooms. We'll talk about what rooms serve what functions. Let's start in the bathroom. In your bathroom, you have what I choose to call Mr. Medicine Cabinet. I also choose to label him as your legal drug dealer. Whatever you have in your medicine cabinet, if it has some sort of addiction magnet, meaning if you have anybody with an addictive personality in your home or literally has an addiction, you need to beware that whatever is in your medicine cabinet, in the drug dealer in your bathroom, needs to be removed. You should not make it easier for someone with an addiction in your home to have access to it, because all they need to do is to go in your bathroom and take it then. Lock up any addictive magnet, or if you feel that someone with an addictive personality might use the alcohol, rubbing alcohol, or the painkillers or whatever, get rid of it, put it in a safe. Let's walk out of the bathroom and go right into the kitchen. In the kitchen, most kitchens have a dining room table, if not in a dining room. That kitchen should be also considered to be a formal gathering for the family. I realize with today's economy, it makes it tough to have a family night dinner every night, but let's just, in the perfect world, pretend like we could at least have Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. If you sit down with your family on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays and have dinner, it becomes an open forum, and things will be brought up to the surface. Things will come out, and you, as the mother, dad, grandparent, or legal guardian, can hear what is going on in your children's lives. That will allow you to hopefully nip anything in the butt that sounds suspicious. Let's go from the kitchen into the living room. We need to also dedicate 1 or 2 nights a week for a family get-together night. A night of maybe playing Monopoly or Yahtzee or watching movies, because that is, again, an open forum for you to hear what your children have to say. Bathroom, kitchen, living room is for families to get together. The bathroom, not as much, but those other 2 rooms are for families to get together, because what you do in front of your children during those times is how you're going to judge your own character, how you're going to be judged as a role model. So if you're in the kitchen and in the living room with your family and you're playing games or you're having dinner or whatever, and you're doing one of these 4 things, I will, besides many other people, judge you as a bad role model. One of these 4 things. If you drink in front of your children, you're a bad role model. Because how can you in your right mind expect your children not to drink if you're drinking in front of them? If you smoke in front of your children, you're a bad role model. Don't expect your children not to smoke if you do it in front of them. Remember, children have the monkey see, monkey do personality, or monkey see, monkey do personality, and what's the other word I'm looking for? They'll do whatever you do. Remember also, they look at you as their hero. You are a role model, so if you drink and you smoke in front of them, they're going to do that. If you use profanity, don't expect them to have a clean mouth. And if you physically abuse someone, you're teaching your kids it's okay to bully other people. If you have to drink, do it outside your home. If you have to smoke, do it outside your home. If you have to use profanity, do it outside your home. But if you have to physically abuse someone, which I hope you don't, you need to seek counseling and therapy. And if you're the victim of physical abuse, you need to seek the authorities. I say this all the time. It is easier for the authorities to take your loved one in handcuffs off somewhere for a day or 2 to seek help Hopefully that person comes back to you a better person. Then for the authorities to be called to come to your home and take you as the victim of physical abuse one day in a body bag, because you won't be coming home. You cannot reverse death. You cannot. Those 4 things cannot happen during those days or at all, but mostly on those days in front of your children. Drinking, smoking, profanity, and physical abuse. These 4 things should always happen. Disregard the phone. These 4 things should always happen. You should always have love. You should always have compassion. You should always have respect. And you should, excuse me once. Well, love, respect, passion, and compassion. Those things should always be in your home. When you have the family nights and you get together and you play the games, show them that you love them. Show your children and your loved ones. Show them that you respect them, because when you give respect, you get respect. Show them that you have compassion. If they have issues going on at home, show them that you have passion. If they have issues going on at school. If you include those 4 things and eliminate those 4 things and do the kitchen thing, which is having dinners together, and do the living room thing, which is having family nights together, then let's take a walk down the hallway into our bedroom. What I'm asking each and every one of you to do is, please tonight, when you take your shoes, your sneakers, or your slippers off, when you put them at the edge of your bed to climb into your bed, put them under your bed. You don't want to see the heels of or the toes anymore. And then tomorrow morning when you wake up, you need to go on your knees to pull those slippers, shoes, or sneakers from underneath your bed. When you do that, thank God that you have another day on this earth. It is sad that I have to tell you this, but it's a proven, true fact that every breath you take, there is someone taking their last breath somewhere. It could be within your community, could be within your state, could be globally. For every time you blink an eye, there's someone closing their eye for the last time. So why should you not thank the Heavenly Lord that you, yes you, have another day on this earth? There are a lot of people that don't have a chance to thank the Lord for that. There are a lot of people that don't have the chance to see videos like this to help them with their addiction. If you're watching me right now, you still have a chance to change. You have a chance to start today, November 1st, 2014. Start today writing a new chapter in your book of life. My chapter 53 was just started because I just turned 53. For every year, you have a chapter in your book of life. It is your responsibility to help your children write the first 18 chapters in their book of life from 0 to 18. Those chapters, remember, should never include smoking, drinking, profanity, and physical abuse in front of them, and should always include love, respect, compassion, and passion in front of them. Those chapters should include that for your children. And then when they're 18, they go on their own. But you have a chance today, November 1st, 2014, to start writing new chapters in your book. If your chapters have been less than desirable for anyone to read, it is okay. It is the past. It's done. But today, November 1st, 2014, you can reach out if you have an addiction with alcohol and drugs. You can do 2 things right now to change the rest of your life. There are little things you need to do after that, but the 2 major things right now to change the rest of your life, to start a new chapter in your book of life. 2 things are, admit you have a problem. And if you can't do that, then you are not ready for change. But if you know you have a problem and you're ready for that change, all you have to do is stop denying it. And then the second and most important thing is to reach up to God and ask for guidance and direction. Remember, folks, if you're sitting here and you're watching me and you know that your life so far has been less than desirable, everything seems to be crumbling and falling apart around you, it's because you can't control your life. That is where God needs to come and guide and direct you. God doesn't only have to come in your life for addiction. God should be in your life every day anyway. But remember this. You can have God in your life without any addiction, but you cannot fight addiction without having God in your life. You can't. Proven fact. Ask God to come into your life today. Ask Him for guidance and direction. And then, the little things we talked about afterwards, because the two things you've done now, you've admitted you have a problem and you're reaching out to God. The little things that come, the first thing would be an action plan. Because in order to achieve the goal of sobriety, which is your permanent goal, you need to have a plan. You can't just say, I'm going to be sober and that's it. It doesn't work that way. So what is your plan? Well, there are many methods. We're only going to discuss the three that I always discuss. AA has been around since 1936. They have the 12-step program. They have, when you first start off in sobriety, the first 90-90, which means 90 meetings in 90 days. You'll show up for an hour, hour and a half a day. You'll sit in a circle-type atmosphere. You'll exchange stories. You go home. For me, now mind you, I'm not knocking AA because it's helped millions of people. Matter of fact, I have a good friend. Her name is Pam. That's all she talks about is AA. For me, it wasn't good enough. I've always been the type of person that the more I was involved, the more I did, the better I became at it. When you go to college, you can read a book all you want. You can graduate with an engineer degree. But when it comes to the real world, that book doesn't mean anything, nor does that degree. It is what you're learning in the field. So I said to myself, I am going to come up with a method where I'm actively involved constantly. When I do these videos, because I don't produce them, my wife does. When I do these videos, it takes 2 to 3 hours to prepare, an hour to do, and 2 to 3 hours to finish. That's every day. Then I have my websites to work on. Then I have the social media to work with. Then I have all the emails to answer and all the texts and the chats to get to. I am actively involved daily in my addiction recovery. Could be anywhere from 7 to 10 hours. That is the difference between my method and AA. Because my method never gives me an opportunity to not think about my addiction. It's constantly there. Constantly there. Because I have grown to bounds now that people reach out to me, that when they reach out to me, it reminds me who I was and who I am today. And who you can be. AA is one way. My method's one way. You have the treatment center. If you go to my website, www.clearviews.info, right after page 6 is page 7 and the treatment centers. Click on your state and you might find something nearby. If not, go to Google search bar, type in your area, treatment centers, and you'll find something that way. Treatment centers have the 30, 60, 90-day programs. They take insurance, Medicaid. Sometimes they don't take, you might not have insurance. Reach out to the state you live in, see if they offer anything. If not, reach out to me, 631-599-0218. Text me or call me, 844-405-HELP, and I will try to help you find something somewhere. No matter what method, whether it's AA, and then you want to cross to mine, cross to AA, go to treatment center, come out, do AA, whatever method you do, don't ever put your guard down and think the addiction is conquered, because it won't be. The only difference between not fighting your addiction and fighting is that fighting it, you have learned to live with it. Not fighting is going back into the old ways, which we don't want you to ever do. If you have a relapse, you get up, you move forward. The main goal of whatever method, whether it's mine, AA, or treatment center, is sobriety at the end of the day. Every day, every 24 hours should be sobriety. But I'm telling you, no matter what method you pick, unless you reach out to God, it won't work. If anybody wants to tell you different, they're wrong. Life itself works 100 million times better with God in your life. Fighting addiction works just as strong as life with God involved. Try doing it without God. Good luck. I've tried it 6, 7 times. It didn't work. You will see the changes in your life when you ask God to help you. Changes financially, emotionally, physically, spiritually. Those changes will happen automatically, and they're not going to happen overnight. Nothing happens overnight. Consistently and constantly, you'll see changes. Little things. They'll creep out of areas you'll never imagine, and you'll be shocked. And then after a year or 2 or 3, well, like my friend Pam, 35, you see a better you. But it starts with you, and it starts today. Don't let any more chapters be written in the undesirable way that the other chapters have already been written. You can rewrite chapters, but you can start writing new chapters today. It has to start with you. For all the people that point a finger at you, that say to you, you're nothing but a druggie, an alcoholic, you're a loser, you're no good to anyone, please don't listen to them. Don't believe what they're saying, because you are special, because God created you. You just have flaws like any other human. For the people that are throwing stones at you and pointing fingers, they should be picking you up and helping you. Shame on them. I'm here to tell you that God is waiting for you to reach up to Him, and He will pull you up and help you. But you have to make the first move. You have to make the first move. Keep away from those naysayers, those negative people. They will bring you down further in the dumps. Reach out to the positive people in your life. Reach up to the sunshine. Let it in your heart and your home. And you will see nothing but positive results when you do that. But you have to stay away from the negativity. These are scary facts about Adderall abuse. Have you tried any of those? Are you an alcoholic? Do you smoke pot? Do you snort or do crack? You're still special, even if you do all that. Even if you did all that in combination in one shot, you are still a special human, because God created you. Every human can be fixed if they allow themselves to be fixed. But if you shield yourself from positive with your negativity and your negativity around you, you can't get help. And if you don't think what I'm saying is true, you are so wrong. June 22nd, 2013, when I hit rock bottom, if you would have talked to me on the 21st, I would have told you life sucks. I've contemplated so many times just ending it, folks. There is hope for each and every one of you. The thing is you have to realize it's done. The partying days are done. Your uncontrollable life is done. You need to get controlled by God. Carrie Underwood sang a song called Jesus Take the Wheel, and it has so much in common with what He needs to do for you. Let Him take the wheel and drive you around for the rest of your life. He will not have an accident. But when you take the wheel, like I have, we have hit things, we have stumbled. Start today, November 1st, 2014. Let your life be a brand new life. Show the people that are throwing stones and calling you names that you are going to change. You will change for the better. You might even surpass them. But it takes the willpower on your end, the open-minded on your end, and God on your end. And when you get all those things in order, one day you will go out there and help other people. Simple things when you help other people, like opening a door, picking up trash, helping an elder, or feeding a homeless person, will build your self-esteem and shield you from those people who called you no good, and those people who said you had nothing good in your life and you're a loser and you're a druggie and you're an alcoholic. Those things, by helping other people and improving your life and reaching out to God, will overcome all those insults. You will shield yourself from any of that. In the Bible, there were always people throwing stones at other people, cursing at other people. But you know what, folks? You can go past all that. All you need is the power to do it, and the only power to do anything in life is the power of Jesus Christ, and that's what you need. If you don't believe me, talk to other people in my book, that are going through what I have gone through. Folks, I could have been dead so many times. Beirut, 1983, major accident. Alaska, 2009, major accident. Overdose, possibly 2 or 3 times. God kept me around for a reason. In 1981, I became a lay reader in the Marine Corps, which is like an addiction recovery coach. God knew back in 1981 what I would be doing in 2013 and 14 and forever on. He kept me around long enough for me to hit rock bottom. God wants you to finally realize that you cannot live your life without Him. He will let you go until you just about reach the end. And then when you reach up and touch Him is when you'll be lifted up and your life will change. That is when you will take your life back. And I'm here to help you take your life back. God kept me around for all these years for this purpose. I've been in the optical field for over 30 years, but I consider that a job. This is my passion. Helping you is my passion, because when I help you, I help me. If I get 2 people out of every video, out of over 200 videos now, I've finally hit the 200 mark. 2 people. You maybe, I will always get me. Each time I do a video, each time I chat with somebody, each time I email with somebody about addiction, each time I get phone calls about addiction, that is helping me too. It refreshes my memory of who I used to be. That is something that AA cannot do for you. That is something that not even a clinic can do for you. An hour and a half a day is not good enough. You need to be involved as long as you're awake daily. Daily. Folks, I can go into a liquor shop now and get lotto, no problem. I can go to Applebee's, I can go to any restaurant, be around people drinking, no problem. Why? Because I have the power in here, and I have the power from above, the Lord. In combination of those two, I will not be beaten by this alcohol addiction. I have learned to combat it in a way that the addiction has never seen it before. This addiction will not even tempt me anymore, because it knows it's wasting its time. Wouldn't you like to feel that way? The money I'm saving not drinking, the life I'm saving, my own life by not drinking, is tremendous. Folks, all I have to say is that you have to have the power. Start tonight with the shoes I told you about, or your sneakers, your slippers. Go push them under your bed, and then tomorrow morning pull them up. Thank God you're alive. Another day on this earth. Remember, let the sunshine into your heart and into your home, and you folks will have nothing but positive results. That I promise you. Nothing but positive results. A sober today, I guarantee you, will make you a better tomorrow for you. And if you believe what I'm telling you in here, it'll be clear out there. Help someone that needs help. Feed someone that needs to be fed. But more importantly, help yourself, and let me help you take your life back. Have a sober day, and God bless you. Good morning, and welcome to Take Your Life Back. Today, September 4th, it's about 3:30 in the morning. I just want to share with everyone something this morning. I saw a demonstration maybe about a month ago in reference to our dark side and the power of prayer. If you continuously pray over and over and over again, things will eventually become clear. Although a lot of times when we pray to God, we don't get answers right away. But if you continuously pray over and over, things become clear. So the demonstration involves this bottle, and if you see, the inside of this bottle is all dark liquid. That represents our dark side. And this cap represents our limitations. So we as a human, which is the bottle, have limitations, which is this cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this bottle into the sink, and we're going to do a demonstration. So let me put that there. I'm going to turn the camera around so that everybody can see it. And hopefully you folks can all see it now. Okay, so you see the bottle. I'm going to turn the water on. Okay, so now everything inside is dark, which represents our body and our inside. And what I'm going to do, and this clear water represents our prayer. So you see the continuous water running. I'm going to now, as the prayer, as we're praying, I'm going to lift our limitations, which is the cap. And we're going to slowly add our prayer to this. We all go through dark times. I mean, I've had some dark years. I just didn't understand everything that was happening. I'm going to admit it that I'm not a super patient person. I tend to want answers right away and know what's happening and what I can do to solve it. I don't like not being happy and confident about things. It's just not who I am. But when I get down, it takes a lot for me to get back up. If we pray for a sign, which is this, the water is prayer, but just give up because we feel like God's already heard our prayer and He knows what we need, but He hasn't answered. It's kind of like when we were kids in the toy store and we kept asking our mom and dad for toys, but we never got any results. Yeah, it never worked for me either, but you get what I mean. Anyway, that is exactly what's happened to me in the past years. I have prayed and prayed and prayed, but haven't really gotten any results. The answer I thought God would give me, and especially in the time of frame, I thought my problems would be fixed, which was all before 2013. Then in 2013, my cap of limitations was lifted. This is the cap, remember this now, was lifted off the bottle, which is my body. Here is where I will just show you how that worked for me. So basically we all have dark sides, which is what's in the bottle, was in the bottle. We are facing, and we take the limitations off our mind, which was the cap I lifted. Don't limit what He can do because we have to just trust in the Lord. That sometimes even after we pray and we just give up. And it is often why we get defeated. However, even though nothing has really changed, we just keep praying. That's the prayer, the sign of the prayer, the flowing Lord. Just keep praying and never ever give up praying. And if we do that and devote ourselves completely to the Lord, He will pull us through. The dark times will go away and we just have to be patient. I know it's hard. Being patient truly is a virtue. But by never ever giving up on prayer, it's going to show you that God will eventually answer all your prayer. And the more we pray, which is this water going into the bottle, one day everything will become clear. You see how clear this is now? That is the power of prayer. Folks, I think that demonstration says it all. If we had a bottle which represents our body, and the bottle, everything was dark on the inside, and the water coming out of the faucet represents the prayer day after day after day, just keeps adding to the darkness which was in the bottle. Eventually, all that prayer has to turn what was dark inside this bottle, which is our body, has to change and become as clear as this water in here. That, folks, is the
Take your
power
life
of
back.
prayer.
Created using Powtoon.